Manish Agrawal, and today I'll be discussing about software engineer as a career with Mr. Ridhim Patel. Ridhim has worked in this domain at Qatar Computing Research Institute and CureFit for quite some time. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Monish. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so let's begin. So first of all, let's start off with the basics. So what is software engineering and what do software engineers do?
So, software engineers basically design and develop systems for businesses and other companies. So they go from the ideation phase as to designing the overall functions of the product to actually implementing the product. So they can range from applications such as network applications, operating system applications, and they might even include games. The responsibilities and the roles for software engineering might include that they talk with the users and all. What are the requirements of the user? They ask they ask their needs. Then they design prototypes. Then they build and they test them. So all the products are foolproof in the end. Always should satisfy the customer's needs.
Okay, so that sounds wonderful. So let's move on to the next question. So, like, could you share a day from your life as a software engineer and how it looks like?
So I wake up in the morning at around 6 or 7. I do some light exercise and some workouts, have a bath, get refreshed. Then I start with my job. We have some meetings and decide what are we going to do with on this day. We start our work. At around lunchtime, we have another meeting of different issues and we have some interaction with the team. We pitch in our ideas and our suggestions and feedback, etc., of different people's products and whatnot. Then my day ends around at 3 or 4 o'clock when I'm done with my work, and then I play some tennis in the evening, and then yeah, that's pretty much what my day looks like.
Can you share some of the interesting problems that you have solved as a software engineer?
Sure, why not? So one of the problems which I'm currently working on is rep counter. During the onset of this pandemic, people have not been able to return to gyms and do some workouts. So the team which I'm working on, Cult Live, it focuses on allowing users to do some workouts from their homes. So what they do is they turn on their cameras and they start their application where the trainer does some workout and you have to follow the trainer. So the rep counting problem is that when you turn on your camera, I am counting the user's reps. Let's say you're doing push-ups or squats. So when you turn on your camera, the model intelligently counts the number of repetitions of your workout. This can help people, set milestones such as, I did 10 push-ups today. Tomorrow I'm gonna do 15, and the day after I'm gonna do 20, and also motivate others.
All this seems quite amazing to me. So, could you tell me some of the pros and cons of being a software engineer?
Sure. So first pro is that there's a lot of demand in this field, specifically the IT industry and software engineering industry. Um, the domain is very interesting and it's getting vast day by day, and it also gives you satisfaction. So when you solve a problem from scratch and you feel that yes, you've done good, it gives you satisfaction that you've helped a lot of people. And there are a lot of business opportunities for this as well. So with your skill set, you can start a company where you can have a positive outlook on the economy as well. And it also has what you see, a flexible work schedule. So this means that you can work anytime you want, and sort of make your timetable in a way where it suits you. And the cons of a software engineer career is that um, you know you still need to stay updated on the loop. This means that you need to keep reading news, be updated on the latest technology. This might be a pro for some people, it might be a con for some people as well. Another con is that there's a lot of high competition. As I mentioned, there's a high demand of this field, you might be faced with a lot of competition from different people. So it might be even harder for you to get your first job. The final con, what I feel is that it's sort of a desk job. You'll have to, sit in your chair and start doing, you'll have to keep solving problems. How much interesting it might be, it might affect your posture and your overall health.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of software engineers suffering from problems like carpal tunnel and similar health problems. So yeah, that could be counted as a con. So I would really like to know what skills does one require or should one develop in order to become a software engineer? What type of background should one have to become a software engineer?
So while it's not necessary to have a bachelor's or a master's degree, it might help you, but it's not a requirement. The basic skills, what I would say, you should have a mixture of hard skills and soft skills. The primary skill is the problem solving skills. Then for the coding part, you should know some a couple of development languages. You need to know some front end back end languages, and then different methodologies like agile development methodology, and then your essential thing is writing clean code with comments. Now when you are working with teams, you should have skills such as communication skills, time management skills, and collaboration skills, etc., which helps you communicate with your team as well as the users and customers. This will bridge the gap of getting to solutions faster.
Okay, and what should one study to become a software engineer?
So as I mentioned, you don't need to have a bachelor's or a master's degree. You might even go through some boot camps or some online courses or some certifications. A lot of tech companies such as Google, Amazon, etc., are offering certifications for their platforms. So all in all, you should have the skill. It doesn't matter where you learned it from, either from college or you learned it from boot camps. It doesn't matter, but you should have these necessary skills to thrive in this career.
Okay, and so could you also tell me some of the possibilities and avenues for growth as an entry-level software engineer?
Sure. There are different job titles as per se, such as engineers, back end engineers, graphics designer, app developers, web developers, data engineers, etc. So these have different. All of these, you could say, are in the big umbrella of software engineering domain, but they have a specific roles in their environments. Sure. So you might start as a front-end engineer, back-end engineer, or an app developer, game engineer, or a security engineer. But typical career path would be, you'd start as a junior software engineer, then you might get promoted to a senior engineer. Then if you do well, you might, be a tech lead, which is like you'll be responsible for the entire development process. You would, be in charge of your team. You'd be a manager. There would be people working under you, and then you might have to guide those people, mentor people to build products. And then after a long time, like around 20 years or so, you might also become a CTO. That also is a path. Not everyone becomes this. A very highly qualified and highly skilled people and a select few people become this, but this would be one of the final goals of a software engineer who wants to aspire to become a CTO.
All of this seems amazing. So I think it's time to conclude our session. So would you like to tell something to our viewers who are aspiring to become software engineers?
Sure, yeah. So those who are interested in solving problems, are interested in doing something beneficial to the world in the long race, could become software engineers, and who think they have the skills to do so. You might. It doesn't matter the path you take. All you need is good skill set, good communication skills, and hard and soft skills, as I mentioned, and you might be a good and a successful software engineer. And I would like to conclude by saying My favorite quote of my favorite person who inspired me to become this, Steve Jobs. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Thanks a lot. It has been a real pleasure knowing you and talking to you.
You're welcome, Monish. Happy to be here.